Hello again, historians. I wanted to also give you a little bit more in-depth information on how to do the homework that was assigned this weekend. So that is the packet you received that included the yellow Alhambra viewing guide as well as your Chapter 3, Section 2.5 Cornell notes. Those are going to look very familiar to the other Cornell notes we did in class. So filling in the blanks should come a little bit easier to you than maybe it did the first time around. Nonetheless, I wanted to walk you through what the assignment is for this weekend and what I'm hoping that you'll be ready to turn in on Tuesday. So first up, we have the Alhambra viewing guide. It's the yellow half sheet of paper. It looks a little bit like this. So first up, you're going to put your heading on it. Take a look at what it says, but before you complete this, I do want you to watch the video that we have about the Alhambra. It's a really great way to visualize and see this really magnificent piece of architecture that a picture in the textbook I don't think really does justice. So just like with other assignments, we're going to start in Google Classroom and we're going to head to classwork. Now within classwork chapter 3, the Islamic world, I've posted the Alhambra view and guide the video. If you click on this, it's going to link you to YouTube, which is the video that I've posted. And the video is less than 4 minutes. This is a man named Rick Steves. He's made a lot of really great travel guides throughout Europe and a lot of other world destinations. And so he talks about the history of the Alhambra and when it was built and why it's such a magnificent piece of architecture and how it was used after the Muslims fell into decline in that Spanish area. So I'd like you to watch that video. It takes less than 4 minutes. And when you're done with that, I'm going to have you go to your textbook on page 75. This is section 2.3. It's not very text heavy, you'll see. There is one paragraph right here. You're going to read this paragraph, which gives you almost the same information, but what you'll notice about this paragraph is that it very closely mimics what we have on our viewing guide. So we have these sentences here from the viewing guide, and I'd like you to fill in the blanks. It's going to look a little bit like filling in the blanks of your Cornell note because a lot of the information is going to be found right here in this paragraph of your textbook. That's page 75. In addition to the Alhambra viewing guide for homework, I've also assigned the section 2.5 Cornell notes. I sent that home attached to the viewing guide. For this weekend, what I'd like you to do is fill in the blanks here. So that's going to require you to read the textbook, which is really good preparation for a quiz on Tuesday. Fill in those blanks. And in the questions column, instead of coming up for questions for every single paragraph, I'm not going to require you to do that. You can if you'd like to. But instead of answering all of them, I want you to create some study questions for just letters B, letter C, and letter I. Those are the ones that I've circled for you on your copy. Those are going to be really important paragraphs for you to read and kind of process and pull those important bits of the information out so that you're prepared for our quiz on Tuesday. When it does come time for you to study for our quiz, because we have it coming up on Tuesday, the ideal way to use these Cornell notes is when you have your questions on one side of the column, for instance in 2.1 and 2.2 and 2.4, just 2.1 and 2.2, we worked on those questions together. So what you can do is fold this part over, and then you'll have a list of questions on this side. And that if you read those questions, you prompt yourself to answer those questions, or if you have somebody else fold them over and ask you those questions, being able to answer the questions that we came up in class is a really great way to study. So we sort of created our own study guide here. I want to reiterate that the homework for this weekend and what you'll be turning in for graded work is going to be the Alhambra viewing guide. That's the yellow half sheet of paper. And then the blanks on the 2.5 Cornell notes. And then study questions for letters B, C, and I on the next page. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, historians, and I'll see you on Tuesday.